Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke is made possible by our guests and tax-deductible donations from friends and listeners like you. Join us in empowering stroke survivors with stories of wisdom, purpose, connection, and hope at www.beyondstillness.org.
This week on Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke, guest Ken Check shares a story about how his passion for electrical projects and classic car maintenance have informed his own recovery. He highlights the need to listen to the body's warning signs and follow care instructions of medical professionals. Thank you for joining us for part 2, Ken Check's interview. Hello and welcome to Beyond Stillness. Stroke offers a powerful, life-changing shift in perspective. Each colorful memory creates a parable for life's greater teachings, a compass for journeys ahead, and inspired wisdom for unique growth. This radio show, Beyond Stillness, offers an hour of pause for storytelling and reflection. Ultimately, Beyond Stillness is a welcoming environment that reveres the moment beyond stroke's paralysis. Still moments unite humanity and divinity. I'm your host, Molly Bucola. Today's guest is Ken Check. For many years, he designed power systems for Hewlett-Packard. He enjoys electrically based projects, amateur radio, and classic cars. So it's clear that you've been a problem solver, Ken, and you're results driven since you were very young, actually.
Right.
Where do you think you picked this up?
Well, certainly from my dad. I never forget, we lived in, as I keep saying, I lived in the Bronx, and we didn't have a TV. We didn't have much money either. And he built one.
He built a TV?
He built a TV in 1947, built
Whoa.
a TV. I couldn't believe it. I was the only kid in my neighborhood. You know how you say the first kid in your neighborhood? That was me. We had a TV. I had kids that would come in to see it.
No way.
It had I think it had a 6 or 7 inch screen. It was a little round screen.
Uh-huh.
Didn't have very much. It had, I believe, 32 tubes to make that thing work. It was truly a work of art. The design was RCA.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's back when you'd watch the tube. That's where it came from.
Yeah, I guess. Oh, yeah,
Sure.
definitely a picture tube.
Yeah. So your dad was, he had an electronic engineering mind too.
Right. He was not educated formally educated, but he picked it up and did whatever he could. And the thing that got me going was the museums in New York. On Saturdays, you could go down to the Museum of Natural History, and they had all these science movies, what electricity worked and what have you. And so what my dad didn't have in knowledge, technical knowledge, I picked up in these movies. And
wow.
It was amazing. So that's why one of the reasons I felt there was minimal culture in LA. Museum of Modern History, come on.
Yeah, not as much access.
And the other part of it is, I wrote on my notes here, is that I had limited income. And so you find yourself coming up with solutions using things that you can afford.
Hmm.
Right. And typically they're not elegant solutions, but they work.
Yeah.
And it makes you humble when you can afford the things you need to make it elegant. So
Mm.
anyway, so that's it.
Creativity and ingenuity. I love that.
Yeah.
And I love when you said that there's got to be a way. And
Right.
how you applied that to your stroke recovery as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Indeed, I did.
Can you said that September of 2021 was your third stroke?
Yes.
Is that right? Will you tell me about your first two?
Right. The first two were short duration, uh, short in duration. Basically, um, I would be standing somewhere, and then all of a sudden, I would collapse. I'd
Hmm.
lose my feet, and then I'd say, "What is that?" I couldn't believe this was happening, and I'm here. I am on the ground, and then, of course, within 30 seconds to a minute, the I would regain the power in my legs again and get up and just go off and um, do what I was doing. And that is, in retrospect, is stupid,
Hmm.
very stupid. Should have found out why this is happening
Hmm.
immediately and make sure it doesn't happen again. And if I had done that during either one of the first two strokes, it would have been it would have it would have saved me. And that's why I mentioned in my talk that you need to listen to your body and find out. Don't let any irregularities go unchecked.
Hmm.
So
In addition to those two strokes, when you collapsed without knowing why, were there any other warning signs?
none,
Wow.
absolutely none.
Hmm. You offered a very vivid description of the morning the paramedics arrived.
Yeah.
Your mind urged your body to move, but nothing happened. What was going on in your head? What thoughts were going through your head as you were witnessing your body staying there without movement, even though you were telling it to move?
Oh, in essence, I'll say I finally did it. After all these years where I got away with everything, most illnesses, things like any other medical issues. But this time, here I am. They're going to put me in an ambulance. Unbelievable. I never thought of that was ever going to happen.
Hmm.
Well,
Hmm. Do you remember your time in the hospital?
I do. I do. It's well cared for, but um, oh yeah, well cared for, but very restrictive. And what I mean by that is, I wanted to get up eventually. I got my legs back, and I wanted to go to the bathroom. I wanted to go walk around, get up, and they wouldn't do it. Till the day I left, they never ever gave me my walking papers. They
Hmm.
they refused to take a chance on me falling,
Hmm.
which is absolutely spot on. But of course, I didn't know any better.
Hmm.
You know, every time I got out of bed to go anywhere, I, I had this belt on and uh, a someone's hand in that belt,
Hmm.
making sure that I was they obviously knew that I was unstable.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's interesting. You talk about how important it is to listen to the healthcare professionals, but when we're as you're saying, and I remember when I was in the hospital, the frustration of not being able just to get up and go. I'm like, hey, I got this, guys. But they
Right.
were the professionals and they knew what was going on with my body.
That's
I
right.
assumed that I could function normally, but I
Oh,
wasn't able to.
you've
And
been
so
there.
it's frustrating.
Yeah, it is. Especially if you're an active person and have all these things to do, and your mind is saying, "Oh boy, this is going to interrupt my schedule."
Yeah.
Right?
Do you know what I have to get done today, doctor?
What's the matter with you?
Right. Yeah,
I
it's
don't.
interesting looking back, right?
Right. But
Yeah.
it was only 3 days, but it was another week in physical therapy, and it was more of the same, essentially, as far as the being as restricted. But at least I was moving. In physical therapy, I was able to move around. And my favorite, I don't know why, my favorite thing was climbing stairs.
Really?
Yeah.
And you don't know why?
Yep. They take me out in the hall, and I pass some stairs, and I go, take me up let's go up the stairs. I want to go up and down the stairs. I just felt for some reason that going up and down stairs was an incredibly good exercise to get me back to normal.
Hmm. Were you able to do it the first time you tried?
Oh no.
But you still wanted to do it.
Oh, absolutely. Always wanted to do it. And it got better and better. And then eventually I was going up and down the stairs without difficulty.
Tell me about the first time you went up and down.
It was a mess. It was just, you can't, that trying to lift yourself from one level to the next level is it was impossible. There was no, I assume that a part of it wasn't a lot of strength in my legs at that point. And then um, the brain disconnect, as I mentioned earlier, where if you move your head, your body wants to go with you, and when you're doing stairs, you can't think things are divorced. It's a totally different mindset. So
Yeah,
that's it. Wow.
I don't think I even tried stairs in physical therapy. That is a big feat because it's both sides of the brain that have to interact. And like you said, the strength, but also the coordination.
Right.
Wow, Ken, you set your mind to a really,
Right.
really big,
No.
yeah, well done.
Yeah. Well, the good
And
news is that they let me do it, let me try, so
Mhm.
that I could see how bad I was, and then I could see how much progress I was making. Stairs were.
By the time you left physical therapy, were you able to do it?
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I was able to do the stairs.
So, what other obstacles did you have? You mentioned when you left physical therapy, you still the balance was still hard. I really like the image that you used of turbulence on a plane
Right.
because we've all experienced that. Like
You ever seen
you're
that?
walking,
Yeah.
it's normal, and then all of a sudden you have to grab onto a chair next to you or something.
Exactly.
So, what other obstacles did you have at that point?
Getting up from the floor
Mm.
was tough.
Hmm.
That takes a lot of lot of muscles to get off the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I couldn't do it for a while. I never did it in the hospital. I did it when I got home eventually. But yeah, getting off the floor was toughy.
Yeah. And do you work on the floor a lot when you're working?
When you work on cars, you're on the ground, right?
Yeah. Huh.
You can't get off the ground. You can't work on cars when not being able to get off the ground.
Yeah. Hmm.
So, yeah.
And how about now? Anything remaining? Any physical obstacles?
Intermittent dizziness.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there's this tingling sensation every once in a while. And I don't know what that is. It's like your whole body tingles.
Hmm.
And I mentioned it to the primary care physician, and she says, if it only lasts a short period of time, we need to forget about it. I don't know what that means, but that's what I was told, that there's no fix, if you will. And
your Mr. Fix-It mind is probably like, right. There's got to be a way to do it. So tell me more about your stroke survivor support group. I love that you said that you originally joined for support.
For me. Right. I joined for me, and then I got to a point where I felt that I no longer needed it. Needed it as much as I did. But I didn't want to leave. And I just felt that I was contributing to the group. And by going there and showing people, number one, that how well I did, so that there's a role model, if you will. And the other thing is coaching people on what things that I did to repair myself. It's a method. So that's why I'm there. I'm still there.
How did you find the group? Okay.
While I was still in the hospital, I'm talking about the first 3 days. I got this loose leaf book about the stroke survivor group. Contact, whatever. That's whenever I felt comfortable, and that's what I did.
Okay. And so run through the hospital.
The stroke survivor group is Peace Health. I was at Peace Health.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Nice. So it's local, and you meet in person. How often do you meet?
Once a month. Not on site. Not at the hospital.
Okay.
At church. And great facility. When you did your speech, I couldn't believe it, how good that Zoom connection was, and how lifelike. There's virtually half the wall was you.
That sounds daunting.
Yeah, and the other half of the wall was us. So like the split screen I've got right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the technology in the space is advanced.
Very.
That's great.
Yeah.
How did you find your pre-diabetes group?
Primary care physician said to me, my A1C was, I don't remember, 7, I don't remember, something like that. And she says, you need to reduce that. And of course, I'm listening now whenever they tell me. And so I did. I tried to diet and do the things that people with A1Cs of that number do. and it didn't do anything. Stayed exactly blood test after blood test. And I asked her, what can I do? And she said she knew of she didn't know the YMCA version, but she knew that there were pre-diabetes classes in the area. And she found the YMCA for me. And so I contacted the YMCA, which she gave me contact information. I contacted the YMCA, and that was it.
I love it when people go above and beyond to try to figure those things out for you.
Yep.
Very helpful.
Yep.
And it's clear that the individuals within the Alumni Association, I love that you created the Alumni Association. It's
Right.
clear that you support and inspire each other.
Right.
How do they support and inspire you?
Just by being there, to care enough to continue making these Zoom meetings or in-person meetings. We've done in-person meetings, but just care enough to show up, and they feel that they get something out of it. Right. And a lot of times we don't talk, the old day when we had the class, it was always about diet, fat, monitoring fat and things like that. But we don't do we don't really do the class. It's just a support group to, if anyone has any concerns or anything like that, just a mental support group, if you will, is what it evolved into. And occasionally encouraging people to exercise and watch themselves.
Yeah.
But it's subtle. It's not formalized like the class was.
Huh. That sounds more fun.
Yeah.
You said that you've hosted them at your house before. Is that right?
Yeah, sure.
And how was that experience, having them all in person in your space?
No problem. I know these people. I was with them for a year physically in that class. And so now having them in my home is not an issue.
Isn't it amazing the depth of relationship that builds when we're able to share these vulnerable parts of ourselves, these vulnerable experiences? It launches the relationship into this space that often is hard to get to pre-stroke, right? When we're talking about the weather and hello, goodbye. We can know people for 3, 4, 10 years and not get to that depth. But once we meet with individuals who have an experience that has shifted our full lives, and once we're able to communicate about that, there's this depth that's developed.
Right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's sort of like being in the military. You meet all these people from different walks of life from all over the country, and you all are bound by a common purpose. And it's amazing.
Yeah.
What happens? I enjoy that, and getting together and sharing lives together.
Yeah. What's some of the best advice that you've received throughout your stroke journey?
Well, the advice as I keep trying to hammer home is essentially you are not smart enough to know everything about yourself. he must listen to the medical professionals and take their advice. Yeah, your body is very complex, and it's hard for anyone to really know enough to have a solution for everything that happens throughout your life. Just not enough.
Mhm.
And even doctors go to doctors, right?
Yeah.
Because doctors know that they have a specialty. And then eventually something's going to happen to them that is different than their specialty. And they are smart enough, we hope, to go to that person that has that specialty to seek out their advice and counsel.
Mm-hmm.
Even doctors. So
That's helpful. Yeah.
Yep.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you. The way that you've approached this is inspiring. I love that you talk about knowing that there's got to be a way to get beyond where I am right now. And sometimes, like you say, it's really necessary to call on others.
Right. Get to the new day.
Yeah, the new day. Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
Get to that new day.
Absolutely. A new day. Call on others, healthcare professionals, community, other survivors, right? All of it. So thank you so much, Ken Check, for sharing with us today. Before closing, we'll take a moment to pause. We are grateful for the shift in perspective that Ken Check shared today. Our humility and patience connects us with others. Help us to also find purpose in the process. I'm so grateful to you, Ken.
Okay. And I'm grateful to you for doing this. I'm sure will help others.
Thank you for devoting time and space to listen to Part 2, Ken Check's interview. For the full story, please listen to Part 1, Ken Check's story on Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke. Each colorful memory creates a parable for life's greater teachings, a compass for journeys ahead, and inspired wisdom for unique growth. In this episode of Beyond Stillness, guest Ken Check shared his story about his passion for electrical projects and classic car maintenance, and how they have informed his own recovery. He highlighted the need to listen to one's body's warning signs and follow care instructions of medical professionals. If you enjoyed this moment of pause for storytelling and reflection, please like, share, or subscribe to the Beyond Stillness Stories After Stroke podcast. Again, thanks for listening. And remember, as part of the stroke community, you are more than supportive. You are inspirational. I'm your host, Molly Bucola.
Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke is made possible by our guests and tax-deductible donations from friends and listeners like you. Join us in empowering stroke survivors with stories of wisdom, purpose, connection, and hope at www.beyondstillness.org. Another way to support is to like, share, or subscribe to our weekly show. Again, thank you for devoting time and space for this week's episode of Beyond Stillness, Stories After Stroke.